All right, let's see if we're up and running. Hold on a second, guys. Dun, dun, keep going. There we go. See if we've got a good picture and it's not blurry like it was last week. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, well, yeah, we're good. I am gonna tilt this a little bit this way and maybe a little bit this way. Oh, I made that worse. Let's see if that worked. All right, good afternoon, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Sunday, guys. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in mid-Missouri. And today I've got a fun fold card. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. If you're on tonight, give me a shout out. If you're watching the replay, just do #replay so that I kind of know that you're watching, and let me know what you think of tonight's card. So we are going to use an item. Hey, Rosie, thanks for joining. We're going to use an item that's in the January to April mini catalog. So we're not real sure if this bundle is going to move on through. Hopefully we'll have all of that information on Tuesday when the retirement list comes out. So this is a bridge card. So I put it in the envelope so you could see that it will fold down to fit into an envelope. When you open it up, it pops open and you've got your little bridge. So you can see it's a nice little mantle display set card. Super cute for spring. I love this plaid. The timeless plaid is adorable. So I used the timeless plaid. I used the die cut from Storybook Moments. Hey, Angie, thanks for joining. And then that's the back. So it looks beautiful from the front and from the back. So loving this card. So we are going to use, let me set that. Actually, I don't need the envelope. I'll set that over here. So I'm using the sentiment from the Storybook Friends. I'm using the Storybook Garden Patch. This is a cute little set with a lot of really fun dies. So along with the dies that cut out the images, there's also a couple of other dies, and I'm going to show you how I use those tonight. Struggling with spring and Easter cards. I don't know. This is a really cute collection, and those die cuts are adorable. But yes, you've got the little sprigs here. That's a kind you can add to your carrots, as well as this kind of garden dirt sort of thing that cuts out. And then you've got, you can either stamp the water can, or you can layer these two, which is what I did. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Now, annual catalog. This goes live May the 6th. On Tuesday, you're going to be able to hit my blog, and you can get all of my product share information. So product share, later on the week, I'm going to have some other items that are going to be upcoming with the annual catalog. The new in colors, I can't show them to you. Now this is going to be Secret C, so that's definitely one of them. Let's flip this over and see if they, oh, here we go. This is Darling Duckling. This is Timid Tiger. And then the Secret C is this. I don't see any cloud cover, and I can't, oh, here's cloud cover. So these colors are absolutely beautiful. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining. So I am in love with this. Now, if you are excited about the new online exclusive or new annual catalog, reach out to me. I can make it so that you can get things in your starter kit. So great way to add to it and get a lot of that new stuff. Okay, let's get going. What are we going to do first? Let's see here. Let's do a little stamping and coloring first. So we'll get the stamping out of the way. So I'm going to use that. Did I not cut a piece of basic white to stamp on? Well, that's okay. I can just make one real quick. I've got everything stacked up here on my desk, so of course it's going to be hard to get my paper trimmer out. But that's okay, we got it. All right. We'll just do a little cut there. All right. Layer this up. All right. So Here's a piece of basic white. And I didn't put these on blocks either. Now, I've done a lot of stamping and coloring because I didn't think you guys wanted to watch me color all night long. So I have those already done. I'm just going to kind of show you what I did here. So bring these 2 blocks out here. And I've got some Memento ink. And I'm just going to stamp a carrot. Now, if you want to save paper on this, you'll see that I'm really only using the tops. So like when I was doing these earlier, I was just stamping where half of the carrot was coming off. There's no use in wasting paper if you're not using it. And then we're going to stamp this radish. So that's with the Memento ink because we are going to use our alcohol-based markers, our blends. And so I feel like with carrots, you kind of have a lighter green. So I'm going to color these with Granny Apple Green, not that end. I want the bullet end. So I like the bullet versus the brush end when I'm coloring, unless it's a really dark space. Now I'm taking the light and I'm just kind of going over the outlines that are in the middle. Okay. And then I do color in circles. I find that it works easiest with blends for me to color in circles versus long strokes. Now, of course, you're going to have areas where you have to do that. Okay, so right here, so I'm using that lighter blend color. So the cool thing about the blends is you've got a light and a dark with each one. And at a price point of $9, I feel like they're a really good savings. You know, other alcohol markers, a lot of those can be $7 and $8 a piece. So I think the price point on these is really good. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my pumpkin pie. I'm going to pull that bullet in out again. And I'm just going to go over my dark lines with the dark. Then I'm going to pull my light out. And once again, coloring in circles so that it blends together. And sometimes my circles are a little bit longer and more like ovals. There you go. Now we'll do our radish. And so what I thought would be perfect for the radish is I wanted my leaves to be a little bit darker because I feel like your radish leaves are a little bit darker. Now, of course, this is creativity, so you can do it however you want. If you want purple leaves, that's cool. It's whatever you're feeling. But I kind of like mine to look as normal. That's one of the things I do is, and now I'm going to take that light color. When I'm creating a flower card, I'm not a huge gardener. I may reach out to a friend that I know is and say, hey, what does this flower look like? And I'll do some searching so I can kind of keep it as close to reality as possible. Now, obviously, it doesn't always work. And I don't always want that. Sometimes I'm feeling just certain colors. All right, so I'm just doing that in large circles. Okay. All right, so you get the idea. And then I did the ones that I did before, I did these in real red. And I felt like that was a little bit too red. So let's try Melon Mambo here. That's the light. Whoops, that's falling off here. Okay, so I'm going to just... Yeah, I feel like this is a little more realistic. On my turnip or radish. Is this a radish or turnip? I guess this is a turnip. I think I was calling it a radish earlier. This is a turnip. I'm not a fan of turnips. Do you guys like turnips? Okay, then I die cut these. Now, I've got all of my die cuts over here. So look at it, I've got everything. So I'm going to just set this aside, put my nice little marker collection back over here out of the way. And then we're going to stamp the sentiment with some Old Olive. All right, so I've got my sentiment from Storybook Friends. Storybook Friends. And I have a piece of basic white that I have die cut with Yeah, me neither, Rosie. I don't like turnips or radishes. So I'm going to ink this up. This is from Storybook Friends. And I've got a piece of basic white that I die cut with the long banner looking thing from Stylish Shapes. Okay, set that back. Now you'll see I didn't use that for the original, but I thought I'd go ahead and do that. For one thing, I didn't want to cut this flag out on camera because I knew that I would mess that up. Okay, so here I've got some carrots that I've stamped and die cut. I have my 2 watering cans. So I've got the outline that I cut out using the Storybook Garden Patch dies. So this is with basic black. This is with smoky slate. I did put an adhesive sheet on the back of this bad boy. So I like to use adhesive sheets when I'm doing this small, intricate stuff. So I'm just pulling this off. There we go. And then I have a little piece. I just basically did a very small piece. And now I've pulled that off the corner. So that's actually, without even trying, it worked out. Because now it's going to be able to adhere right there. And here we get our 2-toned water can. So there's our die cut. These are little die cuts I pulled out of the Storybook Moments DSP. So I thought I'd just pull these out and see which ones I was feeling using on this one. So a lot of cute little things that would go with this. Oh, that's from last week. I did go ahead and stamp a, thanks Rosie for reminding everybody. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. So I stamped and colored this piece, a thing of lettuce is what it looks like to me. It could be cabbage, I guess. With garden green as well as a little bit of light old olive. So I've got all of these little die cuts. I'm going to put these back and I'm going to show you how I did this bottom portion and then we'll put our card together. So all of that sitting over here. We'll put this over here so we don't lose it. Okay, so I already die cut this heaping dirt. So this is, I've die cut it 3 times. I'm going to show you how you make sure that you get it to look as close to like this. So with a bridge card, you have a 5.5 by whatever this dimension up and down you want. So I did a 2-inch. Actually, yeah, I think that's going to work. So my original is 2 inches, I believe. Yeah, 2 inches, maybe 2.25. And then I've got a layer of 1.25 that we're going to do because we're going to do 2 different layers on this. So I left this one to not die cut because I want to show you how to do this. So a bridge card, you do this, you connect it on the base, and that's what allows you to fold it so it folds and fits into the card base, if that makes any sense. Okay, I am going to pull out this die right here. And we're going to do 3 die cuts probably with our die cut machine. And bad news, I have misplaced my small mini machine's base. But I did find that my big machine worked a little better with doing this. So I need to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let's knock all of that stuff down. Okay, I'm going to set this. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Okay, I'm going to set this up. And what you can see with this die, it creates the mound with the 2 little spots to stick your vegetables in. And then it's got this long edge, and that die cuts as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start die cutting on this end. And I'm going to go ahead and pull it in just a little bit. So maybe I can get by with just doing 2 of them. And I'm just going to set it there. And I'm going to die cut, and I'm going to go forward and backward. And wouldn't you know it, now it's, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go forward, and then I'm going to pull it back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this up a little bit, And I want this second one to go here. Oh, I did this completely backwards. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm good. So I'm going to pull this one out a little bit. You'll see that I'm trying to match that up with the spot. Now, if I die cut it all the way, it's going to cut into my mound. So I'm going to place my plate just at the edge, and I'm going to crank that in. Come on. Oh, it's hitting up against stuff. No, it's not. There we go. Come on. I'm going to wheel it through, and then I'm going to wheel it back because I don't want it. So it looks like I didn't put it close enough, so we're going to have to snip that, but that's fine. So we'll just do that 2 times. That way I'm not die cutting all night long. All right. So I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm going to create that little cut right there. And then I'm going to cut that one right there. So there's our mound. So we have 2 mounds on this one, 2.5 on this one. And obviously, so then it looks really good because they don't line up completely, which is perfect. Now, one of the things I forgot to set up here is I'm going to take my pumpkin pie ink, and I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending on that hilltop of dirt because I want it to be a little more visible, especially on this one that's going on the bottom. We want to be able to see a difference. So we're going to blend that up. And then we'll do a little bit on the top as well. I will tell you, I saw somebody post the other day, which do you like, the mini blending brush or the big blending brush? And I am team mini blending brush. I think they're easier to control. It doesn't have quite as much ink. And I prefer the smaller ones. And they're less expensive, I think. So that makes it perfect. Okay, I got to get my foot out from under me. Ooh. Okay, so now we're going to build this up. And I think I'm going to go ahead and trim this a 1/4 inch off on the bottom. So it's easier to take it off than it is to have to try to add once it's gone. So I like to leave it a little bit bigger before I add it in. And I do remember, I don't think I put pecan pie on my blog with my dimensions. So all the dimensions for this will be on my blog tomorrow. So I'm going to line 3 Stampin' Dimensionals on this bottom one. So this is the shorter one. And I'm going to line this up. Here we go. So there we are. All right, now we're going to put our card base together, and then we'll add all the goodies. So I have a piece of 4 1/4 by 8 inches. And as I said, all of these dimensions will be on my blog. I do have my Simply Score tool that we're going to score at, where's my sticky? I think I know, but I want to make sure. Okay, 1 1/4. I'm going to do that twice. 2 1/2. Just do that, run that up again. We're going to do 5 1/2. So that's going to leave a little 3-inch area right there. And then 6 3/4. So all of those dimensions will be on my blog tomorrow. Now let me show you how to fold it. So the way I do it is I start from the middle. So I'm going to fold in and burnish. And the key with fun fold cards is to burnish really well. Then fold it back and create. So what we're doing is we're creating that platform. So one goes back and one will come up. Now I'm going to go on the other side and do the same exact thing. Fold it at the second score line, fold it in, and then fold it back. So in and back. Okay, so here's our card base. So this is gonna flip-flop back and forth. So this is your 5.5 side. Now, I've got some pre-cut Timeless Plaids DSP. And then I also have a couple of pieces of the Storybook Garden. Is that right? Storybook Moments. Storybook Moments. So we're going to start adhering. Yeah, we're already committed. We got the, but I think this would have looked good if I had put it the other direction. All right. So I originally almost changed how I was doing this and put this on Lost Lagoon, but I was afraid that wouldn't look very good with our vegetables. And we do have the old olive in our the front of our DSP, so I think it'll work. So we are doing a couple of different colors than what we originally did, because I'm almost out of this DSP already. I love it. So last chance list comes out on Tuesday. So if there's things that you want, now what we are confident on, it hasn't been published, but we're confident that the in color stuff, inks, blends, re-inkers, paper, if you don't have it and you need it, grab it now, because it will be gone quick. Quick. If you're interested, I have a host code posted. So make sure you grab that so you can get your free gift from me. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over. So there's the front. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to line this vegetables up. Now I cut this ahead of time, and I really want it to follow the way it's supposed to. So what I did was I put numbers on it. So there's 3, 4, there's 1 and 2. So here's 1. We're going to line that up. So grab what you can while you can get it, because it's going to be gone. There may be some bundles on clearance. There's no telling what they'll have out there. So make sure you check out that last chance list on Tuesday, because this is the last month coming up. So you'll see why I numbered this. It's because I want my vegetables to go together. So there's my tomatoes, my pumpkin is together. So I just want to make sure that I'm lining them up correctly. So by using that number system, it helps. If you're making your card, cutting your card and making it as you go, you can usually just like leave it stacked. But the last thing you want to do is have to try to figure out what goes where. All right. I love this fruit or vegetable paper. I think it's adorable. All right, so the only thing we're going to put on the back of this card is just a layer, like an area to write a little note. I'm adding a small strip of DSP to the bottom of that. Ooh, my room is hot. The weather here was beautiful yesterday, but today it turned out cold and nasty. And of course, we planned on doing hibachi tonight for dinner. So poor Suzanne and Tim stood out in the freezing cold with rain and wind and made dinner while I hid up in my scrapbook room. Okay, so there it is. There's our back. Cute little area for you to add what you want to. So now I'm going to show you how to do this front. So I'm going to bring in some Stampin' Seal Plus because I feel like it's a little stronger. And I'm going to put it directly on my card base. I'm going to run 2 layers of that, and I'm only doing it on the very first panel. So I'm going to line this up and make sure it's flush on the bottom and flush on the side. Now you'll see it only goes to that point, but that's because we're going to fold it over and put it right there. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just putting that Stampin' Seal Plus. You could use tear tape. That would be okay. And fold it over and make sure it's flush. So you have that perfect bridge card that can fold up and go in there. All right, now let's see how we're going to place these things. So because this has a lot of layers, lots of DSP on it, I'm not going to use a whole lot of dimensionals. We are obviously using dimensionals, yes, but not a lot. So I'm just adding some adhesive and putting it, oops, we are going to use a dimensional here. We'll put it right there so it's there waiting for it. So we're going to put this right here. Okay. Now let's see if I have any grass like I used in this last one. It may just be floating. No, that's not gonna work. Maybe I could prop that right there. We'll look at it. I guess I don't have any more. Okay, now I'm gonna put my teacup little fella on here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a dimensional and I'm going to add it right there. I'm going to kind of put it down under there as well. That way we can set it right there. So it's adhered on the base, but you've got some dimensional keeping it up as well. Now I'm careful not to put it all the way over there because I'm going to have to put my sentiment on here. And so I'm doing liquid adhesive with this as well, which is strange because I rarely use liquid adhesive. Just a small amount so you make sure you don't warp your paper because it is liquid. So of course it's going to warp a little bit. And make sure that it's nice and straight and that you're not covering that sentiment up. And now it's time to add our carrots. So here's our carrots, here's our radishes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pop that up just a little bit and that radish will slide right in there. And the way I adhered these was with a glue dot. So I'm just gonna stick that right there. I'm gonna put it on, yep, it's there. It's just on the body of it. I'm not putting it on the stems or leaves because they're going to be popping up. So I'm going to slide this down. And here we go. There we are. So there's that. Now the carrot I'm going to trim because it's got to go way down there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a glue dot to my carrot body, and I'm going to slide it in right here in that die cut hole. All right, and I'm going to push it there just a little bit. So now I can add more vegetables, but I don't necessarily think I need it. I think that's good. So I'm going to put all these die cuts back. Maybe, do I want? No, I'm not going to use that. Nope, nope, nope. Step away from the card. So believe it or not, that's it. There's our card. A super cute bridge fold card. I have a piece of DSP that I'm going to adhere onto the back of my envelope because we don't want that naked envelope. You could also put some vegetables on the front of your card or your envelope, stamp like some more radishes or carrots. You could glue a die cut. I don't normally, oh, Angie, thanks. I'm glad you like it. I don't normally put die cuts on my cards just because I think that's one more reason that the post office might send it back to you and say, hey, this is not enough. This is probably one of those cards that's going to need some extra postage. So make sure you check out. So if it's over an ounce, you're going to need to add an extra stamp or a few extra cents to get it to go through the mail. Or you could hand deliver it to a friend. What friend wouldn't love that cute little spring card? So it's going to slide right in there. There you go. Slips right in. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you, thank you. So I'll be back here next Sunday night. I'll have definitely more information on paper shares, a product share, paper share, new product coming out. I might have new product to show you as well. And more about the last chance list. Make sure you check out my blog for the most recent information. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you back here Sunday.